Good evening, Greta. Thank you.
I guess the first question, how seriously should we take this threat?
Well, I think we should take all threats very seriously. I actually visited the mall in Kenya, and you can see the damage that can occur if we don't take things seriously. So I think that we are, and we should be, but I think that we have been for some time.
Well, the thing is, they could keep releasing these videos every 5 minutes and turn us upside down. Next, it could be rent-a-car places.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, they are terrorists, right? And this is designed to terrorize in one form or another. I would hope that we don't let it. I hope that we stay vigilant and Americans go about their business. It's kind of the attitude I took in Iraq. You accept what's coming your way, and I'm going to drive on with my mission and live my life. And I think people need to do that.
Is there any indication beyond this threat? Is there any sort of movement of resources or any planning or anything that says that this is more than just a video threat, which I admit we take seriously, but is there anything more?
At this point, DHS has said that it's not, that it's nothing more than what they have seen in the past, that threats like this always exist. They're just becoming a little bit more out there with it and letting more Americans see it.
All right, you mentioned DHS. The funding runs out for DHS at the end of this month. And DHS now is having to deal with these threats, and I'm sure a lot of threats that we don't know about. What's with that?
Well, I'm concerned that, as we see right now, the Senate Democrats have blocked yet again a chance to keep DHS funded, and they're putting their priority in the place of a situation that should go through the courts at this time. They're putting a priority on an unlawful executive action, or at least one that's being challenged, over the safety of the American people, and I think that's a shame.
Well, you know, I realize you're here, and I'm grateful that you're here, and if a Democrat were here, I'd say the same thing. The problem is you all have a job. You all said you could get it done. You all just had a 12-day vacation. We are interested in being protected. We're finding out we even pay this money to fund this DHS, and all of you on Capitol Hill can't seem to at least figure out some solution. Instead, it's just, it's just a food fight at this point.
Well, I would agree with that in many ways, and I will tell you, I'm in my second term, or just beginning my second term, and I have yet to meet with the president over things, and sometimes it would be helpful if the president sat down with leadership of both parties and actually had conversations about where we're going, and if we're serious about protecting our country. I am, and I want to make sure that it's funded if we can, but I would like to see the president set the priority that protecting the American people exists over something that he's calling an emergency. And this is a problem we've had with immigration for decades. I'm not saying we don't want to solve it, but really we're in a situation right now that's bigger than the immigration situation. It's about, does the president have the authority to do the things that he's doing? We were elected too. We should have a say in the process.
Right, and I should add that what's holding up, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the House passed a bill.
Correct.
And that included in it a provision to defund the president's executive action as it relates to immigration. That's now sitting over at the Senate, and they don't want, and the Senate Democrats don't want to deal with the immigration executive action. They would just want to deal with the DHS part. Is that a fair description?
Well, then they should be able to bring that to the floor and have that conversation and put amendments on the bill and see what's proposed. They should be doing that. Instead, there's nothing that's taking place. There's no conversation taking place in this situation.
Well,
I don't know why they want to be irrelevant in the conversation.
But now the Senate is run by the Republicans, so they can bring that to the floor.
They need to get 60 votes to get to cloture to have the debate, and it's being filibustered, and that's what happened again today.
And of course, there could be a nuclear action. They get rid of that filibuster rule, which is a whole other story. Other threats that we should be worried about tonight here in the United States, as long as I have you here and you're on the House Intel?
Well, as you know, the House Intelligence Committee is a very closed circuit, and there's a lot of things we don't discuss. But I think that we always need to be vigilant. We've had to be that way since 9/11. America's made a lot of changes in that regard. There's a lot more I might be doing in the whole global war on terror than we're doing today, but that might be the topic of another conversation where we have a lot more time.
Congressman, nice to see you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.